go.
Thank you.
Bye.
Do you want to come say hi to my channel? I haven't seen you on this one.
What's up, YouTube?
Get you a boyfriend who makes all your drinks for you. I'm drinking peppermint tea, by the way, if you're wondering. I hate tea also, but it's too late in the day for coffee, so that was a no-go. I just need something warm, you know? Oh, fuck, I just burnt my finger. Okay, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today is February 2nd, so I'm going to be filming my January recap. I didn't read too many books last month, but you know, I read a few and I have some thoughts. And then I'm also going to be including my February TBR at the end of this video. All of the books that I read last month, it was a really good reading month for me. I don't have any bad reads actually. They're all 4 and 5 stars. Starting off the year strong, the first book that I read was none other than Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is the first book that I've read from them, and I got it because Sarah Caroli, Queen, we stand, we love her, she raves about this book. It's one of her comfort reads, one of her favorites, and so I was like, okay, I trust her, and I was freaking obsessed with this. Okay, it was so cute, probably one of the cutest love stories I've ever read, and Elliot, he is just perfect. Probably my favorite book boyfriend I've ever seen. For sure. I loved this, and it's just such a cute little story. I love how like through the course of this book you can actually see like their bond forming, and it's not just one of those romances where it like seems kind of out of the blue. You like actually understand them. So if you don't know what this book's about, basically Macy and Elliot are childhood friends, and her and her dad own this summer house at the lake, and that's where Elliot lives all the time. So they see each other summers growing up, and then something happens and they don't speak for 11 years, and then you don't find out till the end. And I rated this a 5 stars. This is going to be one of those books that I could see myself reading, honestly, before this year's even up. Loved this. Started off great. Next, we read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So this was the book for my book club with my mom and my sister, and I'm the one who chose the book for this month, so I wanted to read this because I see this like every single time I go into Target, and pretty much everybody in the world, even people who don't even read, know about this book, so I wanted to read it. And this was my first Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and I really liked her writing style. I rated this a 4 stars out of 5. I really liked it, but to be honest, I don't know. It just didn't give me that like 5-star feeling, you know? But it was really good nonetheless. I will say, it was one of those books where I genuinely have never read a book like this before, and I feel like she was very creative with everything. Like, I would have never thought of this, and it was cool how it was like an interview and like all this kind of stuff, and I just loved how the story was told. But yeah, I really like this. I thought it was really good. I recommend this, definitely. I recommend this to like everybody. Then we read my favorite book from this month, and it was none other than ACOTAR. I've been wanting to read this forever now because I love fantasy. That's my favorite genre, and every single person that I see who talks about fantasy, like even people who don't like fantasy, love this book, and it's been everywhere. You guys know this. It's all over Target. It's always on channels. It's always at Barnes & Noble. So I finally picked it up from Amazon, and I was obsessed with this, okay? It did start off a little bit slow. To be honest, I was kind of like, okay, this is a little bit slower than I thought it was going to be. But then it picked up really quickly, and I was not prepared for everything that happened in this book, especially not the twist. And there was this one part that I was really shook at, okay? I was like, I don't think I'll ever get that image out of my brain. It's really good. I'm just obsessed with this, and I love the covers. Sarah J Maas, she is like, the covers of these books, I'm obsessed. I think they look so cute next to each other too. Like, I don't have the whole collection, but whenever I see people's whole collection, I'm like, wow, that looks so cute. This was definitely a 5-star read for me. I was obsessed, and I cannot wait to read the next. Every time I talk about books, I'm always just like, did that even make sense, like what I said? Like, am I forming complete sentences? I don't know. I don't think I am. Tastes like hot bong water. And then the last 2 books, I went to my public library I'm gonna like start going there more often now so I can read books and not have to buy them. So I went there, and if you saw my last video, you saw the 3 books that I got. I didn't get to one of them. I'm currently on it now, but I started it yesterday. So after ACOTAR, I ended up reading Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I don't know how to say it. I feel like it looks like Jimenez, but I could be wrong. I always hate it because like you can see my blinds because it's like plastic from the library. But I ended up reading Part of Your World, and this was also one of the cutest love stories I have ever read. This was a 5 out of 5 too for me. Yeah, I was obsessed with this, and I actually liked this more than Love in Other Words. I know they're like very different, completely different tropes and stuff, but I loved this so much. It was the first book I've read that had an age gap relationship where like the girl was older. She's older than him by like 10 years. It's not like creepy because he's like 28 and she's like 37. Her writing style, I don't know what it is about it, but it was just so interesting to me. And to be honest, this was the first book I've ever read where I actually like laughed at the dialogue in this book. Like she actually had the characters have dialogue and make jokes, and the jokes were actually funny, okay? Like, that is a gift. I just loved this. I think it was so cute, and it was one of those stories that I was like, wow. Like, I could actually see this happening. It was, like, realistic, but it was still really interesting to read about. Her parents are pieces of shit, just as a heads up. But other than that, I really, really loved this. And look, there's a little goat on the cover. Like, how cute is the goat? The last book I read in January was The Sunbearer Trials. I had seen this so many times that I went to Target, that I went to Barnes & Noble, and I love this cover, you guys. Like, the cover art on this is just incredible. Like, immediately drawn in just from the cover alone, because I heavily judge covers. You know what I mean? I feel like we all do that. And I'm just obsessed with the art on this one. So I knew I wanted to read this, and then I like opened it up and read the inside, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is right up my alley. This is a YA fantasy novel. I don't know, I feel like the world building in here was actually kind of, it took like, I feel like a lot of intellectual ability from me to actually kind of form the world in my head. The author does a really good job at describing it. I didn't even say the author, by the way. It's Aiden Thomas, which this is the first book that I have read from them, but I'm definitely going to be checking out more of their books because I loved this. The second book to this, I hope it's coming out this year or next year. I was so mad when I got to the end because it said to be continued, and it was left on like the biggest cliffhanger ever, and I'm like, okay, well, where's the second book? Well, the second book's not out yet, so I have to wait. I rate this a 4 stars. It almost was a 5-star for me, and I feel like if I could even bump it up to like a 4.5, it was really, really good. It was kind of slow in the beginning and just like getting the world building and everything. However, I do give major points for creativity, okay? They snapped on this. I would never have thought of this in a million years. And it was kind of almost like, I guess if you like Hunger Games, you would really like this. I don't want to compare it necessarily to Hunger Games, but it is kind of similar. I don't know, it's kind of like Hunger Games meets like, I don't know. It's kind of like Hunger Games. Yeah, I loved this. I recommend this to all fantasy readers. So that was everything I read. It was a really good reading month, and I read lots of really good books. And so now we're going to get on to my February TBR. Okay, so first book, this is the one I'm currently reading. It's Malibu Rising from Taylor Jenkins Reid. I got this at the library too. I'm just over halfway through this. I started it yesterday. I'm not going to give like too many thoughts, I guess. So far, I will say I don't like this as much as Seven Husbands. Yeah, it's very different than what I thought it was going to be, and like not in necessarily a good way. I'm definitely gonna finish this probably tonight or tomorrow, so we got this on deck. Next, A Court of Mist and Fury. I got this a few weeks ago. A lot of people that I have seen, this is their favorite book in the entire ACOTAR series, so I am very excited to get this one. I know this one is the one that focuses more on like the romance, I'm pretty sure, and then like the third one, Wings and Ruin, is more like political and like how the courts actually work and stuff, which I'll love that too. But I'm so excited to read this. This book you guys saw in my last video too, because I got this picked up. But I'm going to be reading The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, because from what I've heard, this is like a Valentine's Day book, and so I'm like, I obviously have to read it this month, you know what I'm saying? She wakes up and it's just Valentine's Day like over and over and over again. So yeah, I have high hopes for this. I loved Better Than the Movies. It's a 5-star read for me. I thought it was incredible, so I definitely think this will be a great read for me too. And I love her covers. She's another one. She does good covers. I also have The Love Hypothesis. This is from Allie Hazelwood. I'm sure you guys have seen this everywhere too. I'm pretty sure this is all over Book Talk. Oh no, it's a fake dating trope. That's right. It's a fake dating trope, and then like Grumpy Sunshine. But I just love books like this. I love romance. That's one thing that I've really gotten into recently is romance. I used to pretty much just be like strictly a fantasy reader, but now I'm kind of dabbling into like romance, and I'm just such a hopeless romantic. I don't know why I never picked these up before, but I'm really liking them. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this too because obviously it's February, so I want to read like all these cute little romance books this month. So for the book club with my mom and my sister this month, my sister was choosing and she chose Mexican Gothic. So I'm going to be reading that. Oh snap, this is being made into a Hulu series. Okay. By the way, the author is Silvia Moreno Garcia. And this is a like sci-fi thriller, which I've never read anything before, so I'm really actually intrigued to see how it is. Okay, and then I really want to read By a Thread from Lucy Score. I haven't read a Lucy Score book either, but I've obviously heard Things We Never Got Over is amazing. And then Sarah Caroli also said that By a Thread was an incredible book and she highly recommended it. So I was like, okay, let me pick that up. So I'm excited to read that one. And then the last book, which I'm also, I keep saying the same thing, so I'm sorry, but I am such a repetitive girl. I guess that's just who I am. I want to read Icebreaker from Hannah Grace. Because first of all, I love like the whole concept of that. I'm obsessed with ice skating. It's a random fact, but I'm obsessed with ice skating. I love Ice Princess on Disney Plus. I watch that like all the time, and I'm just like always been intrigued by ice skating. And then it's like a reverse Grumpy Sunshine, so she's the grumpy one, not him, which I think is really cute. He's like a golden retriever boy, so I just think that's cute. I think he's a hockey player too. So like she ice skates, he's a hockey player.
You gotta turn it back on?
My light just went out. Okay, sorry if the lighting's messed up now. But those are all of the books that I want to read in February. Those are the books that I read in January. Let me know what you guys thought of the books or the ones that I'm going to read in February. Let me know if you like them, especially Mexican Gothic. Tell me what you think about that one because I kind of read the summary, but then also I was still kind of like, I don't understand. So let me know what you think about that book. I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope you have an awesome day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!